Look at that. Oh, I think I was a little too close. Look at those colors. Now they're really coming in. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and we had a beautiful, beautiful rainstorm that just took place. It's still a little dark out here, and you know, it was really hot here earlier. It was almost 100 degrees, or at least it felt that way. So now we're nice and cooled off. We're probably in the 70s, and the plants are growing. That's what's important. And I'm sure there's some breeding action going on. Rainstorms are always good for that, as we know. But we did have a clutch on the ground. I'm going to show you that clutch I pulled when I went through my snake room here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. But by the way, I'm going to be heading over to the, well, this is in August, the second weekend in August. I'm going to be heading over to the Breeders' Reptile Show in Daytona and meeting up with my good friend Tom Crutchfield there and be doing hopefully some interviews. I haven't done that in quite a while since COVID and all my little medical problems. I should be hopefully walking by then, so that's going to be exciting. I also want to talk a little bit about some really cool things that I've been seeing on Facebook. I thought it's always good to give credit to other breeders who are doing some amazing things. You could actually hear the wind and the thunder in the background, and that's what's going to make this video that much more mysterious on this beautiful afternoon. For any of you guys who follow this channel, you know that I love Burmese pythons, and I actually have 6 Burmese pythons that I have permits for here. No one else is really allowed to have permits in Florida unless you have a very special educational permit, which I do. Fortunately, I can't breed them anymore, so I have to live vicariously through other breeders out there who are doing it great. And I saw a man by the name of Matteo Mignecco. He produced, well, he's got a couple of caramel pied Burms for sale. Oh, these things are so amazing. They're just epic, and he really did a good job with these things. They're pretty high white, and they have that nice caramel albino look to them, and everything pied is great. So I'm glad I have my pieds, but everything pied is great. So I want to just say congratulations, and anyone's in the market who can actually get pieds. I know in Europe they're selling these things now, and I'm sure a couple states in the US maybe can still get them, but we can't get any more here in Florida, that's for sure. Luckily I got mine tucked away. Anyway, congratulations. They're killing it over there with those Burms. There's some really, really nice stuff being done with Burmese python combinations. And they're my favorite big snake because they're so tame and they just like to be held, and there's nothing like a huge muscular snake, you know. Coming from the bodybuilding world, maybe that's why I like them so much. And Addy Reptiles produced this super cool Scaleless false water cobra. I never even really kind of went into those snakes, and then I saw this scaleless form of it, and I'm like, holy mackerel, these are really nice. The scientific name for these things are Hydrodynastis gigas, and these things are just super cool. You know, when I see stuff like this, then I start saying, oh, maybe I need to get this species. I want to try to work with it. These are really, really nice. He did a really good job with these things, and congratulations, man. This is, there's really no morphs that I know of, at least in those, and this is kind of like just making it like a cooler version of it, I guess. I don't know if they have shedding problems or anything like that, but these are certainly pretty cool to look at. I saw Rich Delbono. I don't know if he produced this or if he just bought it, but I think he produced this, an IMG Motley Scoria boa. Now, I love Scorias. You guys know I have a lot of Scorias. I actually have a really cool IMG Scoria that I showed you guys the other day, and it's growing really nicely. But man, that Motley gene in the Scoria, it actually adds back pattern, which is something that's, you know, a little hard to do with Scoria, and I think it looks spectacular. That the Motley, you know, adds the pattern, and then the IMG gene, the increasing melanistic gene, really adds more color, that darker color to it, and it looks like a totally different snake. It doesn't even look like a Scoria, but you still see those Scoria eyes, and I can tell it's a Scoria. But what a cool snake! It really takes it to the next level. Well done, Rich. I see Jason Hood produce some really, really nice Axanthic Blackhead pythons. That's another species I have to stay far away from because every time I see them, I want them. And I really believe that the Axanthics are the best looking ones because they're just black and white. super cool. I mean, the black head just sticks out more when you have the rest of the body, in black and white tones, as opposed to having those reds in there. But man, that looks cool. I've seen the albino blackhead pythons, and they're really cool too. But the whole idea behind a blackhead is that it's got a black head. So with the albinos, they're yellow. So I just think that these look really cool, really, really well done. I think this is the best. If I was going to get blackhead pythons, I would absolutely go for the Axanthic ones. They're the best. And last but not least, one more thing today that really impressed me on social media, on Facebook, was the Microscale Palmetto corn snakes produced by Prestige Corns. Now, I have to tell you, I've been trying to pull the trigger on, or attempting to pull the trigger on palmetto corn snake, because the whole idea, I don't know, I have this thing, like, I don't want corn snakes. Like, they look cool to me and I really like them, but I don't know, they don't like a python or anything like that. And I always talk myself out of it. And I really, really like palmettos, because I like the spots that they develop. They almost look like cow reed ticks, when they get older. And I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. And I'm really close. Every time I'm always on Morph Market looking at these things. Man, when I saw these microscale ones, they're really cool. This is something I'd never seen. I didn't even know they had microscales in corn snakes. So I'm really not really a corn snake guy, but these are really, really cool. I think he produced it. There's also an Axanthic microscale as well. And I think this was the first year he produced them, but I think he missed 2 seasons in a row, and then he produced them this year from what I'm reading on Facebook. But these are just really, really, this might be something that might convince me to actually do the microscales. I mean, to do the actual palmetto corns. The idea that there's actually some microscale versions of them. But you never know. I've seen some Scaleless versions of them, but I think this microscale looks better. So I might, down the road, in the next 6 months, you never know, Dave Palumbo might get a pair of palmetto corns. And it's because I see things like this, and it inspires me to say, hey, you know what? There's more out there than just what I got. The problem is when you start getting into too many things and too many projects, you don't know where to put all the snakes. But you can never have too many snakes, right? Don't tell my wife that. All right, let's go and take a look and see this clutch that we pulled. It's the weekend, but these snakes don't stop. They don't know it's the weekend. They're working hard on this Saturday afternoon, and I have this gorgeous Enchi albino scaleless head. A lot of scales missing on that head. Albino, and she's sitting on a clutch of eggs. I bred her to a pastel head albino scaleless head. I have yet to produce an albino scaleless animal. We're trying again. This is the second year in a row. We're going to try to hit one. This girl's really, really pretty. She's a really pretty Enchi scaleless head albino. And she's not big, but she always gives me some nice eggs. They're going to be small eggs, I guarantee it. I see they look pretty good. I haven't obviously pulled her off yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we got here. And once again, we might produce that scaleless head albino, which I've been shooting for. All right, she's all cleaned up. I wanted to show you how beautiful this girl is. Look at what Enchi does. It really just creates tremendous highlights. I didn't even know she was Enchi when I first produced her, because the parents weren't Enchi, or at least they weren't reported as Enchi. And once I bred her out, I realized I had an Enchi. So I've been producing Enchi babies. But she's, look at how many scales are missing. Some snakes have very few scales missing. For an albino, she's missing her whole, from her top of her eye all the way down to her nose. She's missing those scales. So that's a really, really nice Enchi albino scaleless head. And scaleless head also makes the colors more vibrant too. So it's not just the Enchi doing that. The scaleless head actually, Gene, creates some definite anomalies. That looks much better now. So the camera focus better. Wait, look at that. Oh, I think I was a little too close. Look at those colors. Now they're really coming in. She's really beautiful. We're gonna put her back. She did a good job. We're gonna check out her eggs. All right, I bet you didn't expect to see that many eggs, and they're actually bigger than I thought. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 good eggs and 1 slug. That's it. So she did really, really well. For a small snake, I think that's a really nice clutch. They all look pretty good. We're gonna candle them in a minute, put them in the egg box, and put those in the incubator for 60 days. So we could potentially have a scaleless albino in this clutch. So it would be a 1 in 2 chance of getting an albino, okay, because the father was het albino. And then it's a 1 in 4 chance of getting a scaleless animal, because both parents are scaleless het, so it's like they're hets in a sense. So you multiply, it's 4 times 2 is 8, so we have a 1 in 8 chance of getting a scaleless albino. So we have 6 eggs. So odds would say we don't get one, but we could get one, so we'll find out. All right, I decided to be a little creative today, so I candled all these eggs. They all have embryos and blood vessels, so they all look good. And instead of putting my little usual lines on the top of the egg where the embryo is, I actually just put the date. That might be my new little protocol. Saturday, 6/18, June 18th. That's when they were laid. So you can never forget that. Now, if I had more than 6 eggs or less than 6 eggs, I'd have to change up my system. But I thought that worked well for today. So I hope you guys are having a nice Saturday, June 18th. Let's put these in the incubator. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. I hope you enjoyed that little clutch as much as I did pulling it. I'm excited. Look, I was telling you earlier all the cool stuff that I saw on Facebook today that got me all excited, and I actually made it into a little weekend edition video. And I like to give other people props for all the great stuff they're doing. But if I could produce that albino, Enchi, scaleless head, if I could produce that albino, scaleless ball python, man, as far as I'm concerned, I deserve to be right up there with the list of great things that happened this week. Now, seriously, that's something I've been trying to do for a number of years. When I first saw the scaleless ball python, I said to myself, I really would love to see what it looks like in albino. And I obviously seen it. People have produced it. And I really like it. I like it in albino. I'm also trying to hit a clown and pied version of it too. I don't necessarily need to have 6,000 genes into it, but I would like a pied, a clown, and an albino version of it. I think that would make me feel like I've completed my mission with the Scaleless project. And I want to be able to get it out there so that people can buy them as pets, because I think they're going to be really, really cool pets. Even if you don't breed them yourself, I think that they're going to make great pets. And I love the scaleless head form of them, because the scaleless head form makes everything look better. A scaleless head clown is better than a regular clown. A scaleless head pied is better than a regular pied. And so that's really what I'm shooting for. But if I could produce a couple of completely scaleless animals in the meantime, to, like I said, to have as pets, display animals, and to sell them, I think that would be phenomenal. I think it's definitely something different, and it kind of brings ball pythons, it gives them like another dimension, it's just something else that's not just the usual stuff. So, all right, guys, it looks like we're going to be getting some more rain here. I feel it dropping on my head already, so you guys know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. See you back Monday morning.